Hey guys, welcome back to this fifth episode in the Android development tutorial series. So in the last four videos, we saw the basics of Android development and the very basics of how to create UI and the Java part. Alright. So what we're gonna do is in this video we're gonna be developing an app, okay, a voter app. So usually if you see other tutorials, what they do is they teach you the concepts and then they make you do the app, okay. But I feel, if you just straight away jump into the app, it'll be even more beneficial for you guys. So I hope you guys have seen at least the previous two videos because you will need those basics. All right. So in this, if you have seen those videos and if you see this video, the very basics of Android development, the very basics of UI, and how to make it interactive with Java will be really clear to you guys. All right. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, at least go and watch the third and fourth video where I've introduced XML and Java for Android development. All right. So in this video, we're gonna be making an app which will help for people to vote. All right. So in this app, we're gonna create an voter app where you can vote against two companies, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. All right. So I've created a basic project here. Okay, so what we in this basic project we'll have the activity underscore main.xml and main.activity.java, right? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this constraint layout and change it into a linear layout because we haven't seen constraint layout yet. We'll, for now we'll adjust with linear layout. All right, so here what I'm gonna do is instead of having the orientation to be vertical, I'm gonna have the orientation to be horizontal. Right, you'll understand in a minute why. Okay, so I have this. Let me remove this text view. Okay, inside this I'm gonna have two linear layouts, one with 0 dp. You may wonder why 0 dp. Let me clear it up. Match parent. All right, and I'll create one more. Sorry, yeah, with a weight of 1. Okay, so since I have two linear layouts here and when I give a weight of 1, what Android is going to do is it's going to place them evenly. All right, so how much ever space is there, according to the width, okay, it's going to split it into half and half. So this will have half the width and this will have half the width. All right, so let's go inside. All right, so now we have a linear layout which is horizontal, and we have two linear layouts inside it which is which has weight of 1:1. So it is aligned evenly. If you can see here, if you click on any of these linear layouts, you can see this partition. Okay, Android Studio is really helpful in these. It will help you wherever it can. All right, so you see this partition here, right? So if you see that these two parts are really equal in width, so that's what we achieve by doing the uh, layout weight parameter. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, and before doing everything, okay, I'm gonna open up my Chrome. Let me open a new window. All right, and I'm gonna download images for Coke and Pepsi. All right, so all right. Anyway, I think okay, let's go to images. Yeah, I think that image was better, right? Yeah, this image was better. So let me download this image. Okay, save image as IC underscore Coke. Okay, and I'm saving it, and I'm doing the same for Pepsi, right? So this way people will have a visual representation, right? So one thing you guys have to remember is while making it, this is general suggestion. If you can make a visual representation, do it, because one image can speak for 1,000 words, right? So the images will be a lot more clearer than words, right? So I will save this as IC Pepsi. All right, so now let me go back to my downloads folder and downloads, and I'll copy these two. Okay, and what you have to do is you have to go into your the project root project folder, your app, src, main, resources. Inside resources you'll have a drawable folder. Okay, paste them both inside that. Okay, so the drawable folder is just a folder where all your images go. All right, so Android has this really smooth hierarchy of folders. So you have this root app folder. Okay, inside this is the root of the app, so all your project contents are inside this folder. All right, so under this you have three folders, right? Manifest, Java and resources. Sorry. So I'll talk about I've talked a little bit about manifest earlier, but don't worry about it. I'll talk about it later on in the upcoming videos. So Java is the folder where all your Java files go. All right. So any Java file you have will go under this. So this is the main Java which where we'll write our code, and these two are for testing. All right, and we have this resources folder where anything other than Java will go. For example, inside this layout, all our layout code will go. So here we'll have all our drawables. Drawables are all images and all that. Mipmap, I'll talk about it later. Values means I'll talk about these two later. Okay, so right now we don't have to worry about that. So okay, so Android has this really really good hierarchy of folders. So any image you want to have, you put it into this drawable folder. Okay, any image, and you can access it easily through the either in your Java or in your XML code. Okay, so here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have an image view. Okay, let me go here. I'm gonna have an image view. I'm gonna place the width to match parent and the height to wrap content. Okay, so image view has this property src. So this src will specifies the image view of what image it should display. Okay, so we go at drawable. So this drawable is a folder, right? So each of these has this add property. So if you want to reference a layout, you say add layout. All right, so if you want to reference a drawable, you say add drawable. All right, so you say add drawable, and if you see, you have this Coke and Pepsi, right? So first I'll have Coke. All right, so yeah, that looks decent. One thing I'll do with I think we don't need to have a text at the top. Okay, so this is enough for any image. You need to have this content description. So I'll say Coke image. What is this content description? Basically, it is for accessibility purposes, right? So we're using this phone. We can see what Coca-Cola is, okay? But what about people who can't see? Okay, for them, if you know, Android has this talk back option. Okay, so when the user touches on the Coke place, all right, when the user touches on the Coke place, the Android basically helps them. All right, says them it Android basically helps them. Okay, so what will it say? That's this text. All right, so when the blind people click on Coca-Cola, it'll say Coke image. All right, don't worry about this warning right now. We'll talk about it in the next video. All right, so we have this image view, and we need a text view to display how many votes it has. Right, so let me go here. Let me format it once. Yeah, that looks good. So text view, I'll have the width to be match parent, height to be wrap content. All right. So here we'll have an Android text. Okay. So when we start, it's gonna be 0, right? So we'll have 0 here, and we'll increment it through Java. One more thing I forgot to do is this linear layout should have an orientation of vertical, because inside this linear layout we want everything to be aligned vertically. Okay, so this will have vertical, and we'll have that orientation here too. All right, so we'll see this 0 is really small. Okay, so we'll increase the text size probably to 18 sp. Okay, this sp is just a unit of measurement in Java. Okay, sorry, in Android. So I'll talk about this sp and all in the immediate next video. Okay, so right now just know that anything related to text size will have the property of sp, and anything other than like the width, the margin, they'll have dp. Okay, I'll talk about that in the immediate next video. So for now, just follow me. All right, so we'll have this layout gravity to be center, and the gravity to be centered, right? So this text is centered. We'll have a margin, sorry, not margin start, just full margin. So the margin is applied, the plain margin is applied on all the four sides, or you can have margin top, bottom, according to what you want. Right now I want a really neat image, so I'll have a margin of 8 dp. Okay, but I think this 0 should be really big, because it's the main point of an app, right? So we'll have 28. No, even larger. 38. Nope, even larger. 48. No, even really, or even larger. 60 dp. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so we have this margin of 8 dp. I will also have a margin top, alright? So just to add a visual look, so I'll have this like 16 dp. So it's aligned even lower. So I think, yeah, this is fine. Alright. So one more thing we need is here is a button. So this button basically helps us to increment the counter. So we'll have a button, right, with this match parent, height is match parent, no, height is wrap content. All right, and we'll have the text to be vote. Right, we'll have a margin of 8 dp. Right, so just a visual feel. Right, so I think this Coke side is done. Is there anything else? Nope. Yeah, I can probably add a margin top of 10 dp, to make it look good. I even more 20 dp. Yeah, I think that's fine, right? So this is the first part. Okay, so whenever the user clicks on this vote button, this counter will increment. All right, so now what I'll do is, now we'll have we'll do the Pepsi part of the thing. Okay, so instead of writing all this, since it's gonna be exactly the same and there's just gonna be minor differences, I'm just gonna copy all this. All right, so one thing you have to remember is you don't have to repeat everything. So once you've done something and it's gonna be the same except for some few differences, just copy paste it. No, it doesn't matter. Right, so I'm gonna change the drawable to IC Pepsi. Right, so now the Pepsi display is shown. Okay, there is this problem, right? Okay, fine. So if you guys observe, right, I haven't planned anything for this video. Okay, I'm just making it from raw. I'm doing this because when you're an Android developer, you'll make lots of mistakes. Okay, you'll have first draft, second draft, third draft. You'll have hundreds of drafts before you release your app. Okay, so what I'm planning to do is I'm gonna make it like I'm making this is the first time I'm making this app. Okay, I will even practice it. All right, so why I'm doing this, because since you guys will make a lot of mistakes, so now you're seeing me making mistakes, right? So and now you'll see me how I am fixing my mistakes. So that will help you when you're stuck somewhere, doesn't matter where, some doesn't matter when, you will suddenly remember something that you might have seen here or you might have seen in other videos. Okay, so that's the main point of me doing this. All right, so okay, let's have this like this for now, and then we'll make the alignments later on. All right, so we have this word. All right, so I think both these are done, except there is a small alignment problem here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reduce this margin here so that we try to align it. Nope, we need a little more margin. All right, I think we remove the margin here, that'll be better. Yeah, we removed the margin here. All right, so we need to do something else. What can I do? Let's think. Hmm, okay, so this image is shorter and this image is longer, right? So I somehow need to make this image smaller this way. So what I can do is I can take the height and I can set a static value to it, right? But this is not recommended because at different devices you'll have different it'll look different. Okay, but for now, since we're just going through the basics, I think it's okay. All right, so we'll have height of 100 dp. I think that's too low. We'll have 200, a little bit more, right? Yeah, 250, no, 240, no, 230, no, 220, no, 210. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll reduce a little more, 205. Yeah, we'll increase a little bit more, 206. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So you guys, yeah, I think that's nearly the same. All right. So this you can have it like this also, but it's better you don't. Uh, but how do I explain this? All right. So this value, right? Where's the value? All right, this value, right? So this 206 dp is gonna be there on every device. All right, so but this since this thing has a height of match pair sorry, this thing has a height of wrap content. What it's going to do is, if you suppose open it in a huge tablet, this image is going to scale up, but this image is going to remain the same. Okay, so we'll see how to take care of those in the future videos, but for now, since we're going to go with this one display, I think it's fine. All right, so yeah, I have one more thing we forgot is to give IDs. We don't need an ID for this image view because we don't have to reference it. It's going to be static. This we need to give an ID. So we'll have an ID of TV underscore coke underscore count. All right, and button will have ID of button underscore coke underscore vote. All right, and this text view for the Pepsi will have ID of ID uh, TV underscore Pepsi underscore count. All right, and this button will have an ID of ID button underscore Pepsi, sorry, Pepsi underscore vote, or Pepe, yeah, Pepe, right? So Pepsi underscore vote. Right, so this, I think this UI is clear. So when we run this, even in different phones, right, this alignment is gonna differ. All right. So right now, we're just gonna go through the basics. This is just like a revision for the previous two videos, and in the next video and the next video onwards, we'll create perfect apps, and by the end of this course, everything will be perfect. You don't have to worry about anything. All right, so let's go to main activity. Okay, so I'm here in my main activity. So what we need is we need a reference of the two text views. So text view coke text equal to find view by id or dot id dot. If you don't have to remember it, okay, so we just put coke. See, you have this button word TV underscore coke underscore count. Okay, so Android Studio is going to help you along the way, all along the way. You don't have to worry about all the intricate details of remembering everything. All right, so this is what we have. All right, so we have another text view, that is Pepsi text. All right, so again we use find view id order id dot. You just have to put Pepsi. All right, so suppose you don't remember Pepsi. All right, so it's a text view, and if you follow the TV underscore that paradigm, you can just put TV and it's gonna show you what you have. All right, so we have this TV Pepsi count. All right, so and we have two buttons, button. Alright, so if something like this red shows up, it's because the Android Studio hasn't imported the file. So what you do is you just click on it and click on Alt Enter. All right, so you have this drop down menu. So let me zoom in. So you have this drop down menu, click on import class. So that's going to import the class. So if you know Java, you must be understanding what this import means. So basically this button is a class which is written in a different package. All right, so to use it inside our package is what this com.sriram.voter. So we'll have to import it from the other package. That package is android.widget.button. All right, so we're importing it so that you can use it. All right, so I hope that import thing is clear to you guys. So coke coke button equal to find view by id or dot id dot button underscore coke underscore vote. All right, so the second button, Pepsi button. Okay, find view by id r dot id dot uh, button Pepsi vote. All right, so we've referenced the text view and the buttons. So what we're going to do is now, if you go back and look at the main activity file, so if they click at the word buttons, this number should increase, right? So what we'll do is, instead of we'll have this on click property. All right, so on click we'll have the method called on coke click. Okay, don't this warning is because we haven't defined the method in the Java. We'll define it in a moment. Right, so here we'll have this on click of on Pepsi clicked. All right, so let's go to Java. Let's go to the main activity the Java, and we'll have two methods. public void public void on coke clicked. Oh, that's what I gave, right? Yeah, on coke clicked, right? And this should have a parameter of view. Okay, this should have a view parameter. So I explained all this in the previous video. So if you don't understand any of all these, I highly recommend you guys to go and check out the previous video. All right, so the second method is on Pepsi clicked. This will also have a view parameter. All right, so this method is gonna be executed whenever this button so the on coke click but method is gonna be executed. Oh, sorry. So the on coke click button is going to be executed whenever this button, the word button according to the coke is clicked, and the on Pepsi clicked is going to be executed whenever this button is clicked, right? So let's go back to the main activity. So what do we do exactly? When this button is clicked, you have to get whatever text is there inside that text view. All right, so when this is clicked, what we do is we'll get whatever text is there inside this text view. Okay, we'll convert it into an integer and increment the integer by 1. All right, and then set it back here. It's also same goes for this. So one thing we're gonna do is you're gonna click on this text view, click on alt enter. All right, so you're gonna see split into declaration and assignment. I can't zoom into that. Okay, so the first option you'll see is split into declaration and assignment. Click on it. All right, so what is it basically does, it splits into declaration and assignment. You may think why we need it. We need it because, wait, let me tell you, if you don't do this, right, and if you don't do this, and if you don't bring these declarations above the onCreate method, we will only be able to use those buttons and text views inside the onCreate method. Okay, because since earlier they were local variables inside the onCreate method, we were only we could only use them inside the onCreate method. All right, but now since we made them since the scope of them is the whole class right now, we can use it in any method. Earlier, since they were inside this, their scope was restricted to this onCreate method. All right, so but now we've changed it, and now we can access it here and here also. All right, so here what we do is we'll get the string, sorry, we'll get the string. All right, string coke count equal to coke text dot get text dot toString dot trim. Trim, what trim does is trim just removes the spaces at the end. Okay, it's just a safety measure. Okay, nothing serious. So what here we're gonna do is we need to convert this into an int, because we can't increment a string, right? So we're gonna do int count equal to, there is this class called integer. Okay, it is a Java wrapper for the basic int. Okay, so we have this int dot parse int. So if you pass a string into this parse int method, it will return a integer instance. All right, so now this count we have is an integer, right? So we can increment count plus plus. Okay, so we'll increment count plus plus, and what we'll do is we have to set this back to the text. All right, so we put coke text dot set text. All right, this will only take in a string, but we have an integer. So what we do is there is a method called string dot value of. Okay, so it will take an integer or a character or a double float, whatever it is. It will take whatever you give it in, and it will return a string. Okay, so we're giving it count. All right, so I hope this is clear to you. So I'll explain it step by step. Let me zoom in. All right, so what I'm doing in this step is I'm accessing the coke text. I'm getting the text whatever is there inside the text view, and I'm converting it to a string, and I'm trimming it. So trimming basically removes all the spaces in the bag, so that when we later convert it into an integer, there is no problem. All right, so here I'm converting the string into an integer because we won't be able to increment a string. Okay, suppose we have 2 there, we get it here, so this coke count will have a 2 as a string. Okay, so we can increment 2 into 3 when it's a string. Okay, so we'll have to convert it into integer first. So there is this integer dot parse int method where it will take a string and it will give you back an integer. Okay, then we're incrementing the integer and then we're just setting the text back, but the set text will take a string. So what we're doing is there is a method string dot value of this will take an integer or a double, all right, and then it will give you back a string. Okay, so this coke dot set, this entire thing returns an string, all right, and we're setting that string in this coke text. So whenever that coke word button is clicked, the count is incremented. All right, so we have to do the same thing inside the on Pepsi clicked also. So we'll copy this, all right, we'll paste it here. One small change is this coke count should be Pepsi count, all right, this Pepsi count, this coke text should be Pepsi text, all right. So this should also change to Pepsi count, all right, and this should change to Pepsi text. Right. So basically we've copied this, and wherever there's in any Coke related instance, we've converted it into Pepsi related instance, because there's no point writing all this, right? It's the exact same thing. Okay, so in the later on, as we progress through this course, we will be dealing with how to achieve efficiency. So there I'll tell you how to achieve all this in a single method. We don't have to have we don't need to write it again and again. So one of the main principles followed by Android developers is never repeat yourself. All right, so that's one of the core principles followed by a lot of Android developers. So if you write a code, make it reusable always. Okay, here we've not. So I'll help you guys. I'll teach you guys how to do it in the previous lessons. Okay, this video is just to make your basics on point. All right, so I think our app is done now, and I have my Genymotion also ready. All right, so let me run this. So I have my Genymotion custom phone. If you don't have a emulator, you can also have your own phone and run it, or you can download the emulator from Android Studio. Right, so that's up to you. So let us wait for this thing. Yeah, guys, if you have any problem, any doubts, if you would like to change anything in the way I teach, anything at all, right? If you don't like this only app prompt approach, and if you want more of a theoretical approach, you post it down in the comments below, and I'll try to change my lectures accordingly. All right, so anything at all you like, anything you'd like change, anything you like different, or any doubts you have, any doubts at all, you can post it down in the comment section below. All right, so I see here my app is done installing. So yeah, all right, it looks pretty much the same. All right, so yeah, so we have this Coke and Pepsi, right? So when we click on this vote button, see, it's incrementing to 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this works according to how we want it. So one more thing we can do is we can have a submit button here in the bottom. All right, that might submit to a server. So this is a basic idea for a voting app. Okay, so we can make an voters app which can be there all across India. Instead of those voting polls, we can have we can give the access to app, access to this app for for everyone in India, and we can conduct maybe the elections through this. So no one has to go anywhere, no fuss, no huss. Just download the app, click a button, and you're done, right? So, but there are a lot of problems. There are a lot of constraints. But if we can do that, there's a lot of plus point, right? So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and practice. If you need any ideas to practice, try to implement this water system by yourself. All right, so try to implement this water system by yourself without looking at my code. If you need any help, I will post this code in the GitHub repository, and I'll link it in the description notes. So if you need any help, you can go check the GitHub repository. Or if you need idea for different apps, you can do a basic calculator app like we did in the previous video, but a little more with a little more good UI. So instead of just having the 4 check buttons, you instead of having those text views, you can have buttons for everything. I know, and you can set the on-click listener for everything and do that. So calculator is one of the most common apps beginners make. So you can find a lot of tutorials online for that. So if you don't understand how to make it, go look at it. Or if you want me to do a video on that also, I'll do it, no problem. So let me know in the comment section below. All right. So thank you guys for your patience and have a good day.